After owning this Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 for over a year and a half and adding all kinds of accessories, it's finally time to tune it. Now, tuning the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 on your own isn't as simple as you might think. Ever since 2015, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram have actually locked their PCMs, so you're not able to just plug in a tune, flash it in, and be good to go. There's a few extra steps in the process. Today, I'm actually going to show you guys the steps involved in tuning the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 with the Diablo Trinity EX Platinum PCM swap. That is definitely a mouthful, but the processes are pretty straightforward. There's just quite a few of them, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it on your own. Now, first things first, a huge thank you to Holly Performance for helping me get my hands on this thing. They actually bought out Diablo Sport a few years ago, so they make it extremely easy and own plenty of other companies for all of your aftermarket needs for pretty much any vehicle. I wanted to go with a well-known brand and a trusted company for my tune on the Rubicon 392, because there's just so much that could go wrong whenever you get into tuning a vehicle like that. Now, like I already said, this is the Trinity 2 EX Platinum PCM swap. It's a lot to remember, but what that means is you actually get the tune and then you're able to swap your PCM. That way you can get the PCM unlocked. Now, for what comes in the actual box right here, first we've got a bunch of instructions, I assume. So we've got some stickers, we've got some instructions. That's basically going to allow us to operate this thing correctly. There are a lot of different settings, a lot of different features in the actual system itself, so that's great to have this. It seems like it's well laid out, so it should be pretty straightforward. Now, for the actual display itself, it's a really thin and light display. It's pretty similar as what you see in a lot of the aftermarket world for tuners or actual programmers themselves. So it'll allow you to see all kinds of different accessory gauges. It'll allow you to do things that a lot of the bypass modules will do, like the JL Taser, which I already have installed in my Rubicon 392 now. They have standard tunes that are already going to be built into these, like a 91 octane tune as well as a 93 octane tune. The 93 octane tune is what I'm going to use for now, and then I'm going to get a custom tune with some of the other accessories I plan on adding here extremely soon. But after you unlock the PCM, you'll be able to download and install their already pre-installed tunes on the actual module. That way you can have some added performance right out of the gate. And it's probably somewhere around 15 to 20 horsepower, 15 to 20 foot-pounds of torque. Nothing insane, but it also allows you to do custom tuning. So you can use a wide range of different tuners, whether you want to use the live diagnostics that the program will actually collect, or if you want to take it to a true dyno tune shop, they can help pretty much knock it out extremely easy. The main part is having that PCM unlocked, but you've got a standard tune right out of the gate to throw on and get some added performance, added power. We've actually got a bypass module, which is going to look a lot like the JL Taser. It plugs in the same way. So if you haven't already seen that, you can go back to the JL Taser video and you'll be able to see exactly how to install this. And I will show you later, but it's pretty straightforward. If you do have the JL Taser already installed in your Rubicon, in your Wrangler, anything like that, and you're doing one of these kits, you will want to unmarry the JL Taser device. Simply uninstall it for now while you're doing the entire process of actually installing the tune, and then you're able to take out this bypass module later on and reinstall the JL Taser. So it's not a big deal, but you do need to remember to unmarry your JL Taser before you start this process. Then it looks like we have a USB cord to plug into the display if we need to download something off the computer. And then we've actually got our OBD2 connection right here, which will also plug into the tuner, the display itself. And then in this box right here, we'll actually have our mounting solution for the display. So you'll see it's just a standard suction cup right there. But that's pretty much it for what is in the box. So with the PCM swap version of this tune, there was a bit of a gray area, and I'm going to walk you guys through that. So I actually ordered my tuner, so it's going to come in. And then we need to collect some information off of the PCM and send that into the PCM swap program. So essentially what I need to do right now, since I have this, is go gather some information off of my PCM. So with the PCM in the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392, it is pretty well tucked in there. It's pretty hard to get to the information that you need. All the information we need is actually on the back side of this. We should have 3 nuts we need to take off. Then we'll be able to pull this back just a little bit. We don't need to uninstall the PCM right away. We just need to read the numbers on the back. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and loosen these up, and then we'll try to grab a picture of everything on the back. And I'll show you guys why we need that information here in just a second. Now, anytime you go to mess with the PCM, even if you're not going to be completely uninstalling it, it is a safe bet to go ahead and disconnect your battery. because you don't want any power going to that thing while you're messing with it. So now that we've disconnected the ground, just to be sure nothing's gonna touch it, I like to put something over it, that way it's not gonna touch. Now the bolts holding the PCM on this, they're actually 10 millimeter as well, so it makes it super easy. And of course you're gonna have a ground wire on one of these, so be sure to remember where that's at. Now this one right here is kind of hard to get to, but if you use a small extension, you should be just fine. And the bottom one here is pretty difficult to get to, but you'll find a way. Then once you've got that off, if you remove this actual cover for your fuse box, it gives you just a bit more of room. Then you can pull it back just far enough to get the numbers you need. So that actually ended up working just about perfectly. So we'll go ahead and reinstall everything we just disconnected, because we won't need to take out the PCM just yet. So for this next part, you'll actually need to go back to the Holley website, and you can just type in Holley PCM cross ship. So you'll see this, it says PCM cross ship, you can click on that. And then you can see all the products that you're able to do the cross shipping with. You'll simply just scroll down, click proceed. So once we get right here, you guys will see why we needed all that information. So you can see it asks for your VIN, it asks for the calibration ID, which is on your PCM. It also asks for the part number and the serial number, which is going to be on your box for the tuner where it actually came. If you click on these, it'll tell you where each thing is actually located, so it makes it really easy. You can see right there, that's what we had to get earlier. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and fill that out. You'll see it is a $1 price. The reason it's $1 so they can keep your credit card on file in case you were to not send your other PCM back. Because of course, since we did order the PCM swap kit, we don't have to pay for this, so we will get reimbursed that $1. But if, for instance, you did not return your PCM, then they'd be able to charge you with that credit card that they have on file. Then once you got it ordered there, you guys can see the total order was $1.11, like I say, so they can hold your card. Now that that process is done, the only thing left to do is to go ahead and grab your actual programmer display itself and go ahead and update it. You never know how long these have been sitting on a shelf, so it's good that you always update them before you actually start to do any tuning or anything like that. So now is the perfect time. Well, I'm sorry about the audio, guys. I tried to wait for this storm to pass, but it doesn't seem like it's going to. So regardless, the next step of what you need to do is you need to get your update agent downloaded to your computer. You can go to Diablo Sport Technical Support on the Holley website. What you'll need to do is download the actual agent depending on what computer you have. For this, it's going to be Update Agent 1.0 for the Mac. All you'll do is you'll simply click it, and then it's going to start downloading it down here. And now that we've got that installed, all you have to do is plug in your actual USB into your USB outlet. Then we'll just plug in our actual display, and then this should light up. And then we'll click yes. This icon will pop up right here for T2. You'll double click on it. You'll go to the updater. You've got logs, ready, runtime, tunes, updates. We'll go to the updater and we'll click. You've got a Windows and a Mac version. We'll click the Mac version and we'll just click the updater. So we've got our device in. And now it's checking. And then it'll ask us to register. Updates are available for your device. Do you want to install them? Yes. And it looks like it's got 25 files to update. So it did take me a few tries of actually trying to download it. Now it is saying that it is doing the download. You can see that right there. And then it wants me to follow the instructions on the display. But it did take me about 3 tries to be able to download the updates, so keep that in mind. If the screen just logs off, you need to go back into it and check for more updates because it's probably not done. It needs to go through this process first. It does look like it's done, so I'm going to go ahead and click continue. not letting me do anything. And then it'll tell you that it is all up to date. But then after that, I actually ended up connecting it to Wi-Fi and checked for updates on there. It still said there were some updates on the actual module itself, so I'm letting those upload right now. So as you guys can tell, we do have the programmer all finished up. It's ready to go and be plugged into the vehicle whenever we get our new PCM. Now, I will say it took quite a bit longer than I expected, and I had to run the updates multiple times to get it to work, but inevitably it finally finished and it is working correctly. Well guys, I am going to have to break this video into 2 parts. That way I can really show you guys all the information you need to know if you are interested in doing this tune. What I'm doing in the meantime is literally just waiting for the PCM to arrive. Once it gets here, we'll be able to swap out the PCM, send the other one out back to them as a core, and then we'll be able to really dive into that tune and see what all capabilities we can unlock with this Rubicon 392. Now, if you all haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Stay tuned for what's coming next. But until then, Godspeed.